Okay, today we are going to learn about making collages so you can upload them to Dropbox for your ads. And the first thing we do is we go to picmonkey.com and then we're going to choose collage. There are a lot of different types of collages that you can choose in PicMonkey. The squares are what we want to go with because when you create square collages, the ad will play in Facebook and it will play on your Instagram account, or in this case on our Instagram account. But when you do ads on your ad manager, it'll play both places as well if you hook your Instagram to your Facebook while you're placing your ad. So there are a bunch of different types of collages that you can choose from. They also have a Facebook cover in here, and this is the size that the photos would be when you upload. So we'll come back and visit this again in a second after we do our square collages to do for our ads. So first things first, I pulled up the Biggie Small with a 3-point option for adding photos. I'm going to click on this top icon over here. When you hover over something, it will pop up and tell you what it is. So this is images. We're going to click there. And then it gives us some options. They always have some kind of stock shots in here, but we're not going to talk about daisies. We're going to talk about wedding dresses with our ad. So we're going to add images from my computer. We have to go here and choose pictures so that we're in the right place in our computer. I'm going to scroll down. I named my working file for collages bb.us ad pics. Here's my April folder of things that I wanted to feature. The first thing I'm going to choose is a gorgeous Lillian West gown. And there's a bunch of different photos that we take of every dress as it comes in our store so that we can show all the beautiful details that this dress has. And for today's purposes, because there's so many gorgeous things about this gown, I'm going to use 3 photos. I'm going to use this front view. You can also see over here it has the whole back showing in it. It also shows that we have a lot of veils to choose from. So I'm going to open that one. And then I'm also going to add a couple more pictures. So going over to add images from my computer. I'm still in my file folder. This line right across the top of the page always shows you what folder you're in and at what place in the computer so you know where you're at. I'm going to add the full back, and then I'm going to do a detail back pic. So to add 2 pictures at once, you click on the first one, choose the Shift key, right arrow. That highlights both in blue. Then we choose Open, and up pop your images. Then you drag and drop. So I'm going to click on this first picture, holding down the left cursor, drag it, drop it into the spot. Now this you can move back and forth. I'm going to just kind of center this. I think that's a good view. And again, in the background, ooh, there's lots of dresses in this store. And there's some pretty accessories too. So then next, I'm going to choose the front view and drop it into the right top. You can see the back of the dress, but here we want to make sure we get the top of this. So I'm clicking on the photo and I'm dragging it down so that you can see all this detail work in the illusion bodice. Again, looking at those pretty veils in the background. Then I'm going to choose a close-up of the back, dragging and dropping it into this location. And I'm going to pull this up a little bit because I want to see this low back and this beautiful illusion lace laid over. Now, everything's where I want it in the collage. So we're going to drop up to the top here, choose Save. Go down here in green. That kind of cues you. When it turns green, that's where you know where you're at. Choose Save to my computer. And I'm going to name this collage 1. Choose Enter. And now that's saved into my computer. And it showed up here, Masterpiece Saved. Now, I want to get rid of these pictures so that I have room to start my next collage. I'm going to add more photos from my computer. I am going to choose to do this beautiful sparkling ruffled gown. So again, choosing the Shift key, right arrow. These 2 pictures are going to be my next collage. Choose Open. It drops them over here so we can work with them. Well, this collage has 3 squares in it. I don't need 3 squares. So if you hover at the top right of any one of these squares, you can get rid of one of these boxes. So I'm just going to drop one of these out. I'm going to pull this dress, drag it and drop it. And I'm going to look at it a couple different ways to see. This is more of a centered view, but in the background, I don't really like looking at this light. So I'm going to pull it as far left as I can so that I don't lose any detail here, but so that I can see this pretty little vase, and then there's some interesting stuff going on in the background. Then I'm going to go left, and I'm going to pick up the super detail shot of this gown and drop it into the spot. Again, I'm going to center this up. You're welcome to pull it back and forth or up and down, whatever it'll allow you to do. I really like that center view so that you can see the kind of lines of the beading and all the different types of little seed beads and the interesting leaf looking details. This is so pretty. So now this is all where I need it to be. Again, going to the top, choose save. Save to my computer. I'm going to name it 2. Hit enter. And we've saved the next thing. Clear all. Now add more images. Going to my computer. We're still in the right file folder. I'm going to go down and I'm going to do a mermaid photo because it's good to mix up your silhouettes so that it doesn't kind of run together in the ad. And I'm just going to do a whole run of these at one time. So open. And I'm going to do a 3 photo collage here. And you're like, oh gosh, well, there's only 2 squares. I'll show you. The drag and drop will add an extra square into this area. So first things first, I am going to choose the full front version because that beading is just gorgeous. And I'm centering the dress. Then I'm going to do the back. So you just drop that in. I could save this just like it is, but I'm going to experiment with having a little closer look at the bodice of this gown, and I can do it a couple ways. I'm going to drop this at the top. See how that turned blue above? If I do it here, it's going to make everything else shorter. I don't really like how this looks, so guess what? I can remove that, and then I'm going to remove that box because I didn't like that top view that way. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to pick up this super detail. I'm hovering so that it's instead of all the way across, it's just in the right top. Drop that in, and I'm going to pull this so that we see this circular line here. I'm always looking for the line of the gown, and that this repeats that line. So it makes it a little more interesting, I think. And then down here, I'm going to pull this. And I really like the look here where we have the low back, but you can still see kind of some of the sparkle in the skirt and how filmy that is. Now, I'm happy with this collage. Up to the top, save. Save to my computer. We have 1, 2, so my next number is 3. And save. Now, it told us it saved, so we're going to clear everything. We're going to add a couple more images. Next, I'm going to do another ball gown. I particularly love this photo where it's just so dramatic, where the skirt looks really long. So I'm going to open that one. And then let's see what we have to use for a detail pic of the bust. Do I want a full photo or do I want just the bodice? I think I'm going to go with this one because it's got that kind of viewing up at the same time. And I might do this one too, just because this one's going up and this one's kind of down to the right. So let's play around with it. I'm going to choose both of these. I'm going to open it. And I'm only going to use one of these photos. I'm only going to use one of the bodice and side photos. So I'm just going to play with this and see what I like. On the left, I'm going to use the back view just to kind of mix it up a little bit, and plus because I love this dramatic look again. Then let's drop into the bottom. And again, I'm just going to take that out and see what this looks like. That's kind of a nice line where it's leading up the page like that. But just for fun, let's do a 3-piece and see. I think it's too busy with 3 in this case. So just to be sure, I'm going to take out the bottom one. This is still a nice kind of swoop line going like this, and I can actually see a lot more about this dress with using this photo. So I'm going to go with this set. I'm going to save that, save to my computer. Our next number for the collage is 4, and save. Now we're going to clear this, and I'm going to do one more. Every ad that we do can have 5 to 10 photos in it. Really, you can do 3 to 10, but 5 is kind of the sweet spot. You don't want to go less than 5 because you want the video to be at least 10 seconds. Each photo will be seen for 2 seconds. So if you have 5 photos, that's 10 seconds. Now, our next dress is going to be something that's a little bit different. So I'm going to go with this strapless. And you can see that it's lace and tulle, and then there's a little sweetheart lace, hand-cut lace right here around the waistline. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to choose Shift. I'm going to go down. And I'm just going to pull up these next batch of pictures too. Why not? Open. And now I'm going to drag and drop. Bodice is going to go left. Now here you can edit and make it smaller, but what happens is you lose part of this area up here. We almost need 3 photos in this because I want to see this view. I don't want to lose any of these lines, but I don't want this blank space. So, because you can fiddle that back into area, or you can just start over. So I think what I'll use is these beautiful headpieces on the left. And then I'm going to drop this in. That actually kind of tells the whole dress's story. And then if I pull this left, you can see that this is picked up over here. So this kind of tells a nice little story. I'm not even going to add another picture of the dress. I think this is pretty together. So choose Save. Saving to my computer. Our next number to save is 5. Click Save. I'm going to do one more collage of some jewelry, so I need to add that in. Going back to my add pic file, I'm going to scroll down because I want people to know I have accessories too. Sometimes I mix accessories in with a dress, and sometimes I do a collage that's just accessories. So first things first, clear out your collage space. Next thing is drop your photo in. And what I have to do is decide, I think I'm going to leave this photo the largest, and then I'll bring my other photo and drop it here in the bottom. I think this is pretty. And this squared up this picture. You'll get used to kind of fooling with this once you start making your own collages, and you can mix up and decide which way is the best to use your space. So I think this tells a nice story. Gonna save it. Save. Save to my computer. Our next number is 6. Save. I'm gonna do one more strong dress picture to finish up this ad. So first off, we've got to clear this whole area out. And then we're going to go, I think I've used up everything in here already that I'm going to use. So we need to add some more images. Go to my computer. Here we are back in our add pic folder. And I think we'll go with this set. This is really pretty. So I'm just going to add all of these and then play around with which one I like. best of this particular dress. I know I want to get that illusion back with the low back in it. That's kind of my ad theme this time, is those low backs. I don't make them all that way. I did include this strapless and this strapless because you want to have a different flavor so that when the bride is looking at it, you hopefully catch one of the things she's looking for, whether it's an illusion top, a sweetheart strapless, a mermaid, a ball gown. It's got sparkle. It's only lace. You're showing a good variety. You kind of pre-think what your ad's going to be about so that you can interest as many brides as possible in what you're doing. So this first one, I'm going to change up this ad setup. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to drop our full photo of this lace gown. Then I am going to do a super close-up of the bodice over here. This kind of reads pretty just like it is, but I don't want to lose, again, this pretty low back on this gown. So let's try this one. And I'm going to pull this up. Now, you can change this box area. Like what I really want to see on here is just this bit. So I'm going to make this smaller and make this taller. That way we have a nicer view of this dress instead of making it squatty. This gives us the detail I was looking for. This gives us the length we need to see the length of the train and the illusion back. This looks great. I'm happy with it. I'm going to save it to the computer. Our next number is 7. And save. Now, we've learned how to make collages today, and we're going to upload those into Dropbox in our next training series. Right now, I want to show you where your Facebook cover is located. So here we are. I clicked on our collage options. You can do some that are just dresses in a row. You can do them where they're in card area and stacked. You can do squares. Biggie Smalls is the one that we used for all the collages we just made. Here's this L Elegant. And I use this one when I'm doing style boards for girls. The Facebook cover you should absolutely be using. This is just the right size to put on your Facebook page. And you see how easy it is to make these collages so you can keep your Facebook header fresh and interesting all the time. So our next video is going to be uploading photos, collages, and videos into your Dropbox file. For today, we've learned a lot about how to make collages. It's been fun, and I'll see you next time.